brothers Wisp. The brothers Wisp, brothers Wisp. The brothers Wisp. The brothers.
You're now listening to Greg.
Hey everybody,
It's the
I'm Greg
Brothers
Soul,
Wisp.
and this is the Brothers Wisp. It's going to be number 190, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of coming at this like I always do, firing from the hip as usual. Today we have one of my favorite people in the whole world, the most interesting man alive, Justin Miller.
Thanks.
Coming
It's
all the
good
way
to be
from VA, right?
Yep, from Richmond, Virginia, East Coast.
Dang. Brother throwing up East Coast colors. I like it. I knew
Yeah.
this turned into a turf war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Here we go. So I was just talking to Justin about, I wonder if I can still remember how any of this works. And I think we're going to figure it out as we go. I know one thing we used to read is new Patreons, and I'm going to have to get that all back in order and get that moving again. And then I would also read out any commercials for sponsors. And right now we don't have any sponsors. So it's just we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of things. What do you reckon?
Sounds good.
Excellent.
How's it feel to be in the driver's seat again?
I don't know, man. It's like, I tell you what, when I'm doing these things, like I'm doing anything, like even when I'm at work and I'm doing a presentation, I go into kind of like a fugue state where I just black out, and it's like Will Ferrell in Old School, and I just come out of it at the end. It's like, what happened? I don't even remember. So I have no idea. We'll have to see how it comes out in the end.
Go in one end, come out the other. Don't even. It's like when you're driving home from work and you get home and you're like, I don't even remember driving home. It's like one of those things.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's been happening to me lately. A friend of mine
flow.
turned me on to Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have you?
Oh man, that is a great topic to talk about. that is. Well, first of all, you have to listen to the audiobook.
I am listening to the audiobook.
100%.
It's
you
so
can read
good.
the books afterwards, but go for the audiobook right away. It is so good.
You know what's funny is the guy who voices it. I know it's like my kid actually knows this guy's name. It's like something Valjean or whatever, John Valjean or something like that. He kind of sounds like Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Not exactly right, but a little bit. And but the voice acting is so good. It's so well
He does
done.
all the voices, I believe.
Well,
Except for, it's like there's one or two books where there's like a special guest voice or whatever, but he does Donut and he does Carl.
Does he really do
All
Donut?
Oh yeah, he does Donut.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I just listened to book 5 last week. No, book 6? Book 5. The Bedlam Bride, whichever one that is. Yeah, I just listened to that one. I started it on Sunday and I finished it on Friday because I was traveling for work, right? So I was just listening to it a ton. But they have Patrick Warburton in that one. So like Putty from Seinfeld or the guy in the wheelchair on Family Guy. Hey,
Yeah.
Peter. That guy on there. So there's talent. They're really good. It's really great.
I can't wait for the next book is coming out in a couple months, I think.
Is that going to be like book 9 or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Um,
I've just been burning them down, just one after another.
It's a great series. Looks like, looking at the Wikipedia to try to figure out when the next one's coming out, but
How are you so unprepared for this? But yeah, I have been
May
traveling.
12th.
May 12th.
Oh,
dude,
it
that's
comes out
that's my
this week.
birthday. That's what I'm talking about. So you're basically saying I just got to go 24/7 until I get caught up, so I can listen to the new one with
Yeah.
everybody else.
This Inevitable Ruin was the last one that came out.
Okay, well that's the one
2024.
that's the one I'm on. So actually, I might get there pretty close. That'll work out.
Oh, you'll get there pretty fast once you start the book. They're like crack. Once you pick them up, you can't put it down.
I know, dude. I found myself, and I literally never do this, but I've been finding myself like just chilling in my office, and I'll put like, I don't know, like a pickleball stream on silent, or like some guy playing Mario Maker or something, and I'll just have the audiobook just going. I'm just listening to that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like I never.
So-
I'm just because I'm too illiterate, so I'm just doing it this
For
way.
those who don't know, it's a series of books. It's a lit RPG genre, I think is what they call it. And the premise is that there's aliens invade, there's a game show, and you're caught in a real life dungeon. And you're a participant with no shoes, no pants, just boxers, and your cat,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to make it through the dungeon
Yeah.
with magic missile, and
Yeah. They start out with what, like 20 million humans or something like that. They get
y-
conscripted into this game show, and then
yeah,
you're basically trying to survive. There's all kinds of like video game references. Apparently, they tailor it to the
yeah,
planet, and so there's a lot of like video game referential material in there. So it's fun. And one of the things I really like is when I used to play D&D or um, like what the hell was that one? It's like a Weird West one that we used to play sometimes too. But anyway, kind of like those role playing games. I used to
yeah.
love the idea of thinking my way around a problem instead of just bashing into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to say they bash their way through a lot of the problems in here, but there's a lot of
They do.
thinking your way around it, which really
They do.
oof, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some clever stuff that happens in it too. But like they level up, they get achievements, they go over the achievements during the book. So and like they open up loot boxes and they go through all the stuff in the
Yeah,
loot
yeah.
boxes, and it's all kind of interesting. Like, oh, how are they gonna use this thing, coming up?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very dope.
So
But you know what? We could sit here and talk about books forever, but that also makes me think about another topic I put on here because we were sort of talking about it in the chat. So a lot of this stuff I just pulled straight from the chat, just like the good old days. I just steal from
yeah,
everybody else. Why not? Was LAN parties because I on my other podcast, the one I've been cheating on this one with, my side piece, or maybe this is my side piece now. I don't know. I mean, everybody backslides with an X every now and then. But I talked to this guy, Fatality. He's like an old school
oh yeah,
esports guy. All right, yeah, you
yep.
recognize him too. I
I know who
actually
you're talking about.
randomly, I was at a QuakeCon and a friend of mine, we snuck into like the tournament and we just went behind the barrier and we're just sitting and watching people play. And I happened to be sitting right next to that dude. So it was kind of weird to like, I don't know, 20 years later, like talk to this guy about his days. But we were reminiscing about LAN parties, man. Did you ever hit LAN parties back in the day?
Sort of. I did go to the Outer Banks with three friends, and we brought our computers and we played. And our girlfriends were trying to drag us out to the beach and to go ride horses on the beach and stuff. And we're like, no, we just want to sit here and play because this is our vacation from school and work or whatever back then. So, yeah, I did have that kind of experience, but I didn't have the 20 people in a room where it's hot and sweaty and stinky. I didn't have that experience.
Brother, you haven't lived.
Or duct tape to the wall. Or
Yeah,
anything
you
like
have
that.
not lived. No, man, like I did a handful of like you're talking about like 20 or plus, but a lot of times, man, it was like 3 or 4, maybe 5 of us like getting together, and I don't know, it was just magical. But you know what? When you reminisce about stuff in the past, maybe that's why it feels so special. When I was at my last joint, it was probably 15 years ago. Or maybe just 10 years ago even, we arranged like a LAN party with a bunch of dudes up in an open office space we had. And that was pretty fun. Like, it wasn't as fun as it was when I was younger, but
Yeah.
maybe that's better
Yeah.
just living in my memory.
Like playing video games now, I'm like in my mid 40s. Like I play video games to play with my kid a lot. Like he wants to play games, or we've been
Roblox
playing
in it?
Terraria, and luckily we're past the Roblox phase and
Okay.
the Fortnite stage where we were playing other games. Now he wants to play other stuff. So we've been playing Terraria. We beat the crap out of Terraria. Now we're playing Core Keepers. And we've been playing Hyrule Warriors on the Switch
Yeah.
also a little bit. So that's what I've been playing. Personally, I've been playing Final Fantasy 11. You want to talk about nostalgia? I played that back when I was in high school, I think. Like it came out in 2001 or 2. So I've been playing that online with a group of friends quite a bit.
Does it feel just as good?
It's better because back
Oh,
then that
shit.
game was incredibly grindy and every kill was maybe 100, 150 XP. Now you can get thousands of XP per kill, and you can level up to 99 in just a couple hours if you have friends that'll take you someplace and power level you. So they're a wholly different game now. But a lot of the same elements are in there. Like you running around all over the place, traveling. It just takes forever still. But don't have to look for parties as much.
I dig it.
So,
Yeah, I still haven't jumped back into video games. I don't know that I don't know that there's still a place for me in video games. You know what? I say that if they make another Portal game, I'll play that. You know,
Yeah.
just like stupid fun
Fake as a
sort of
lie.
thing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that
Well,
was
they have
fun.
the Steam machine coming out, so maybe there will be a new game coming out. You know, the Steam controller just came out, and that sold out within 30 minutes.
Dang,
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
I'm excited about the Steam machine. So.
I have been going kind of down a nostalgia route lately. I think you could see like I have a Pizza Hut light
Yeah.
now, and then I got these movie Mylars right there. So back in the day, they used to like when you'd go to the movies, like above like your theater, there'd be like this little kind of a picture that showed you which movie was actually playing in there. It was just these Mylars, and you can still buy these things, which is pretty dope. So I laser cut some boxes and put some lights in there, and so I can swap them out. I've got like 7 now, different ones. So right now
That's
I've
cool.
got what is that? The Matrix, Hackers, and Jurassic
Park.
Jurassic Park. But yeah, I don't know, man. Kind of going down the nostalgia thing, and I was thinking about the Mum, you know, because like I was looking at like some of these conferences coming up and stuff, and
Oh,
just,
we haven't had a mom in forever.
I don't think they're ever
was-
coming back, man. I think it's
Well, they might. I think they had something else they were doing or thinking about doing, but I don't recall. I don't know.
yeah, the good old days, man. I miss them. We used to. There was a span where like I never missed them. I think I went to one and then I skipped one and then I pretty much went to every one after that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
We need to come up with an excuse where most of us get back together, and I will definitely put it on my calendar and make sure I
Well,
I go to that.
a lot of people still go to WISP's shows, so
All right.
you know, I'm going to ITW and this month.
What's
on the
ITW?
19th. It's an International Telecom Week. It's where all the carriers get together and pay for tables, talk to other carriers. Basically, it's carrier exchange. It's where all those backroom deals happen for appearing and blah blah blah.
Gotcha.
So
Sounds action packed.
and there's a couple of conferences like that. Like there's a PTC I think that happens also, and some Metro Connect down in Florida. So
Yeah. I saw a handful of people are going to chinog, which is happening at the end of the month. That's the
Yeah.
Chicago Network Operator Group. I know the guy that like started it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. This cat is an insane person. I should have stuck him out. Ooh, he's fat as hell. Yeah. So I know the guy that started the chinog, and then I think old Mikey's going to be up there, which isn't exactly a draw, more a deterrent, if anything. I think there's going to be a few people up there. So it could be a good time. The ITW, where are they actually doing that one at? You said National Harbor. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's the National Harbor in Maryland.
Maryland.
By DC.
Sounds all right. Well, that's kind of your neck of the woods, sort of, right?
Yeah, that's why we're going. We're actually driving up there, and our friend is taking his boat there, and we're gonna be on the boat. We're gonna sleep on the boat.
Are you going to sing the I'm on a Boat song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one of those shots, you know, the Titanic shots on the bow for
Yeah.
you. You know.
I think you need to get one of the captain's hats and just,
Yeah.
rock that the whole time.
I'll take your fedora.
Oh, yeah. The fedora's back on the wall. I wonder why. Yeah. I'm back at Red Hat now. I've been back, oh, man, since like September or October, something like that. So I went and did the startup thing for a little hot minute. Got wacky wild. I did that for a couple of years, and then boomerang back is what they refer to us as.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. They've got my butt on the road a lot. I'm traveling like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. I'm back on the road. So there is a big conference like Red Hat Summit that's happening in Atlanta next week. And thankfully, I didn't get an invite. I mean, I say thankfully. It's good and bad. So my territory is Minnesota and Wisconsin, and I live in Texas. So it's like so I have to fly up there every 2 to 3 weeks to see everybody. And at this thing, I'm gonna have like five of my different customers represented. So I could just go to one place, and that would save me a lot of trips. But
Yeah.
in their infinite wisdom, that doesn't make sense to send me. So it is what it is. So I don't have to worry about it. But that just means I get a week off. So like starting last week, the guy I'm like paired up with that we travel with and do all this stuff with, he is going to be home 1 week and 2 months. Like, that's it. So I'm definitely, I'm happy to get this extra week at home. So I'm not necessarily worried about it. But yeah, it's just kind of going crazy, man. Adios mios. Anyway, yeah, Fedora on the wall. Coming back to old things. Maybe see that's part of my nostalgia story. I'm just in my nostalgia era. I'm just going back to old things, which is why I called you back, Miller. All right, so I have missed a good, I don't know, man. Like, it feels like 3 years of stuff.
Hot minute, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been 3 years. So what did I miss?
That's a loaded question. Question there. You know, a lot of Mikrotik stuff has come and gone. A lot of Ubiquity stuff has come and gone. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that I deal with has been bought up or moved around. And, you know, we used a lot of Ciclu, and that got bought up by Sorigon. And, you know, we're talking to those guys now about their links and stuff. But a lot of advancements in Mikrotik. That's definitely a thing that I've noticed.
When you say advancements, is it just releasing new products or actual advancements? What do you think?
They're just getting big boxes out now. Like, they have that new CRS 804 or something, the DDQ that has the 400 gig port, something like that.
Good God.
They have like massive capacity now on some of their hardware that they have out.
Yeah, I remember when they put out like 100 gig switch, and that was pretty crazy. But it was almost like desktop size, which I remember was really strange.
They did that Rose RDS server, which was like a big storage appliance with U2 NVMe storage and ARM64 chipset.
I think I somehow missed that entirely. Did that go over
it's
well?
Big green box. How did you miss it?
I don't know.
I don't know how it's gone over. It's kind of a niche product out of their whole group of stuff, but it makes it, to me, it seems like almost like it could be an AI box, because an ARM chip and lots of RAM, but I don't know if it has any of the compute that it would actually need to do AI stuff on it. But it's an interesting box. Looking for that one, and I told you about this switch.
Yeah, you keep looking at that, because I saw you also posted about the HAP BE3 media device, which is interesting. It's still kind of that small form factor, like 5-port device, 4-core, 1.5 gigahertz, 2 gigs of RAM, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports. But one of the things they were talking a lot about is containers. They're like, we have USB. Yeah, USB 3 ports.
That was on the RDSs also. So they have like, you can, I guess, pull Docker type images now and run them on Mikrotik ARM systems, which is kind of cool. A lot of people like that interface. I haven't actually gotten into that or tried it. I have Proxmox stuff that I use at the house. I do see a lot of Mikrotik hardware in the Mini Home Lab, you know, the 10-inch rack stuff that's going on. I don't know if you've seen any of that stuff. But a lot of the small form factor Mikrotiks make it into those kinds of builds, along with those 1-liter PCs that people like to use for home lab stuff. It's a pretty big community on Reddit that just buy these little racks or 3D print them and put their 1U boxes in them, and then have, you know, their little switches and little patch panels and little fans and little screens and KVM stuff on there, like nano KVMs, and get the name of the other one, the little screen on it. But yeah, it's a pretty big thing.
You're talking about KVMs. I picked up a few Jet KVMs a little while back.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're, I don't know, man, like about the size of a salt shaker, I guess. And
I ended up getting the ones that were from China, the Sigh Speed nano KVMs, the ones that came out had all kinds of bad issues with the firmware, you know, like baked in keys and stuff, and it had to reach out to the server every time you booted it. They fixed a lot of that stuff. But then it came out that they have a microphone on them and they can listen to you and all this stuff. I was like, great.
Neato. I know the Jet KVMs work pretty well. They're pretty plug and play, man. They just go, and I just use it on my, I actually use it for my in VR for the cameras I have on my house. And it's faster for me to connect to the Jet KVM and have it pull up the interface than it is for me to actually pull out my phone and use the app. So
I got some Pi KVMs too. Those are nice.
yeah.
So,
And I was thinking the days of KVMs were done, but here I found a use for it. So there you are. I actually got them as giveaways when I was working at the last joint, and ended up just not giving them away, not using them for anything. So started putting them to work. I still have a couple in a box.
they have some small USB-C capture cards that you can use too, and put it on your computer. If you don't have all that stuff
That's cool.
on your laptop. But
I've got a couple of serial interfaces, so you can hook them up to network devices as well. So that's kind of cool for anybody that uses that. That kind of segues over to Hammett, the hamster. Hamster was talking about does anybody use their out-of-bound stuff on Wi-Fi? And my thing is like a lot of times when you're like at a co-location facility or something, they'll have courtesy Wi-Fi, but every so often they want you to like log in, or accept our stuff.
If you did that at QTS or whatever, it probably wouldn't work for very long because they have that login portal stuff. But it's like smaller DCs, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe you can work out a deal with your neighbor and just be like, hey man, just click on a little SSID for me and I'll do the same for you.
Get a cellular card of some sort and use that to get in.
Yeah.
It's probably a better bet because then you're not relying on the service in the building at all.
Because I used to use Ting as kind of an out-of-band management, and it's like you only kind of pay for what you use. And so I think I used to average like $8 a month using that. So it's pretty affordable. I think you can still get them. I don't think they super advertise it like they used to, but I think it's still there.
There's a couple IoT SIM card providers that will sell you SIM cards with low bitrate connectivity for pennies on the dollar, basically. So
That'd be
128K cellular access, for $5 a month, whatever, something like that.
That would get it done, man. That would definitely get it done. All right.
So that CRS 804 DDQ has 400 gig ports and dual 10 gig ports. 400 swap power supplies.
Dual 10 gig.
And I've seen this mostly used recently with those NVIDIA DGX Spark boxes, the AI boxes that they released with the GP10 CPUs. Have you seen that at all?
Is that the ones where you can... Man, I remember... So I went to a HPC conference like a year ago, and they were talking about how NVIDIA now... It was like kind of a new direct memory over network system where you would like bypass buffers and stuff like that and just go straight in.
So they have this Blackwell chipset that they use in all their big AI platforms, and this is a scaled down version of it. And it's a unified memory architecture, like your ARM Max or whatever. It's just 120 gigs of RAM, a couple GPU compute units, a couple CPU compute units on there, and you can load up AI models. But it also has NVIDIA's Connect 7 chipset in there, which is dual 200 gig DD ports on it. So you can cluster them together. You can buy two of them, hook them together with the DDQ DAC cable, and run a larger model between them using VLM or whatever. So it's kind of something I'm getting ready to play with. So I've been growing up on all that stuff.
No, you really? How does that come to pass?
What do you mean?
Like
so we're looking at making an AI system that can have MCPs into our other systems and RAGs for our data at rest and stuff, so we can ask questions about things and have it give answers, like kind of like reporting on our infrastructure.
All right,
I would say so.
AI is kind of the only thing I've been swimming in lately. So I'd be curious to like have a conversation with you about it, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are less versed in AI. And so when you're talking about an MCP, give the folks at home, give little Timmy at home an explanation of what an MCP is.
It's basically a middleware API that interfaces with another API. So you have a product that you want to interface with. Let's say it's Odoo or Salesforce or something else, or a billing platform like Sonar or WISP or um, uh, what's the other? I can't remember the name of the other one. There's another really good AI one that's out. Um, Gaia. This is another good one. But so you have all these API endpoints that they have, and they have this thing that's MCP that knows how to talk with those. You're using AI usually to program it to do that stuff, and then the AI knows how to talk with that MCP because it's a standard interface for AIs to talk with. And then so you get a bunch of those into your systems. You basically integrate into all of your billing platform, your ticket platform, your network platform. Like Libre NMS already has an MCP that you can try. Haven't personally tried it yet, but it's out there. So you can then ask, a chatbot that you're running locally, to what's down, or show me all the radios that have lost RSSI this past weekend. Due to how maybe you had a storm with high winds. You want to know. That kind of thing, or like show me any optics that are having problems with their receive sensitivity, or the receive signal going down over time. So you can hopefully ask those kinds of questions, get those kinds of answers out of that kind of stuff. And then when you start doing it with other systems, you can make references to how many people are affected by this circuit that's down. What could be the messaging, and it can automatically create supposedly tickets in your ticketing system to go ahead and send to people that call in for those particular outages that are just waiting there for your call center to click send on or whatever.
We dig it.
So
yeah, I think of it MCPs as like APIs, but it's connecting, like an API, application programming interface. It's the way two pieces of software talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
Instead of clicking through a GUI, right? They're communicating directly. And so the MCP gives an LLM like ChatGPT or Claude, or like you said, like your own internal model, the ability to communicate with some other product. It's it's a translator in between. So like for us, the MCP stuff in our Ansible product that I'm slinging like crack cocaine, it gives your LLM the ability to talk into your automation and say, hey, yeah, like you said, look for any hosts that seem to be failing more frequently lately. You can get kind of analytics on that stuff. The MCP is interesting though, because you can also put constraints on there. So you can say, this user has read-only access, so they can't actually hurt anything. They can just evaluate. Or you could say, hey, this person has read-write, so they can actually use the MCP through your LLM to make changes on your system. This is a whole interesting, it's just a much wider topic that I end up talking to people about.
We could talk probably the rest of the podcast on AI.
Yeah, and it's because I only deal with enterprise customers, so I'm only really for the most part talking to Fortune 50 companies, sometimes Fortune 3, and these guys have huge budgets, AI policies. Yeah. Like one of my customers, they run reports weekly, and all of their employees are required to use AI at least 4 out of 5 days a week. Otherwise, they get on the naughty list that they haven't been using. That's how prolific it's becoming, that it's becoming mandated. And so, everybody's like, well, how do we use it? How do we use it? And people are throwing tons of cash at it. And we have a demo that's called a closed loop demo, which nobody's actually going to do it this way, but it's essentially you have a system and you have some observability platform that sees something go wrong on that system, right? Well, it's going to pass over that information through your automation platform. It's going to gather all this stuff and it's going to send that to an LLM. The LLM will give a prescriptive, hey, it looks like this is the problem. And it'll hand that off to Claude Code, for example, and have it generate a playbook that will repair that. Well, then it'll put it in the platform and then run it against your production environment and fix the problem, all without you having to touch anything, which is one of the most terrifying ideas in existence, because it'll just delete the database and fix the problem.
So you haven't installed Claude Code on a system with Docker and just given it full access to be able to spin up anything in Docker that it wants to?
Bruh, I vibe stuff all the I've vibed a pretty pretty killer program here recently, but one of the things like we talk about, like obviously because I'm a sales guy, right? And so I'm trying to sell people, but genuinely, like when I'm talking to people at like enterprise scale, people with tens of thousands of hosts out there, or even hundreds of thousands of hosts, most of these people have compliance, right? They've got like CGIS or HIPAA, because, there's a lot of healthcare. And so there's like this stuff they have to comply with. And I've got 10,000 servers and I tell AI to go configure them, it's going to configure each one of those slightly differently, which is a fascinating concept. And so as part of compliance, I have to not only be compliant with the policies, but I have to be able to prove that thing. And so if you're using AI for this kind of thing, there's no consistency.
So for every task that AI does, it has a certain percentage of failures. So you want to have the Wiggums, what's the guy on The Simpsons, the kid who's really dumb, like he drowns in a puddle of water. I can't remember his name, but they have it's a concept that you give AI the smallest task that possible that it won't get wrong, and then you use agents to manage all those tasks. You do it massive parallelism and have agents manage all the other agents. So you have agents talking to agents. That's kind of like OpenClaw stuff or Claude Code stuff that you can do with it. And so like if it's like 95% chance of it getting it right, and you string a bunch of tasks together, by the time you got 5 tasks, only 85% chance is going to be correct. So you want to give it the smallest tasks possible to do so that it's going to get them right. So you want to shrink your domain down and do smaller things to get better outputs. That's what I've been reading, at least.
Yeah. Well, what we're evangelizing is, like we're whatever automation flavor of choice you pick, right? I'm not here to sell anybody on anything. Mine is just Ansible, right? It's because what I have the most experience with. So if you write a playbook, it's going to consistently perform the actions on that playbook every time. So what I do is I'll have AI, I'll give it test hosts to operate against. So I'll say like, here is my Cisco Nexus switch. And I'll say, this is how you log into it. This is what I want you to do. This is a sample of the output and how I want it to look. Like, this is what good is. And I'll just let it go, right? But I'm doing that in a test environment. And what I have it do is I have it build a playbook that performs those actions and gives me the output. Well, then I look at said playbook that's human readable, that I can understand, and I can be like, yeah, all that looks good. I can even have Claude Code do that, and then I can cross-reference it against ChatGPT and say, hey, take a look at this. This is what it's supposed to perform. This is the output. Does all this look clean to you? So you can get an extra set of eyes or virtual AI eyes on it. And then once you have your completed working playbook, you put that into production. And so I know it will be consistent across all of my infrastructure. So while I'm using AI to generate all this stuff, I'm still doing it in a way that I can be safe-ish, right? You put guardrails around it to the best of your abilities.
Yeah.
Because like, think about it.
It's a lot.
Yeah, because you've got to show compliance. You've got to be able to show that you are doing all this stuff in consistent method. This gives you it. Your auditors can look at it this way. Whereas the way AI is working now, when people are just Claude coding that stuff, it's kind of like, how do you bring an auditor in and say, hey, I have 10,000 virtual machines that are all configured via AI and they're all HIPAA compliant. How do you prove that?
How do you make sure that people are getting access to information that they should be able to get access to when you're using these MCPs and API stuff? And that's basically per user API keys for that particular product, right? So like if you have an accounting system, like you're using Odoo or some other system, and you're integrating into it, you want the call center people to use a key that's specific for call center and with access that only the call center people can have, versus the key that accounting has that's, accounting, or, the CO or key that has access to everything. So you have to think about it a little differently. You just can't use one key for the whole platform, because that's how you get in trouble when people start asking questions that they shouldn't be getting answers to.
And you're exactly right. Like belt and suspenders. Like put as many checks as you can. So right at the MCP level, try and give them least privilege access there. And then like for us on the automation I'm slinging, you have different roles that you have different groups you put people in that have access to certain resources, right? So it's like you're trying to protect it there, you're protecting it here. We also integrate some of our stuff with OPA, Open Policy Agent. It's like a policy server that runs to the side that you can put policies in. Like I can't run playbooks that aren't for production on production equipment. It's like, oh, let's, so you could put some, I can't make changes to production outside of maintenance windows. It's like, oh yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea.
You do some of that policy stuff in Claude Code when you're using that, when folders, you need to make MD folders or markdown files that have guidelines on them and constraints and stuff. But there's a new prompt guidance that came out for ChatGPT 5.5 where they said, don't be so restrictive. You're cutting off the creativity of the AI if you give it too many constraints. Just tell it what you want to get to and let it get there, and then try to narrow it down after that. So
I think it's interesting. It's interesting. Maybe like in the dev environment, I guess that makes sense. But it's just at the places, the folks I work with, it's like they have to be so careful. Everything is so methodical and planned out, and there's huge layer change. Like one place was doing quarterly updates, and now with the advent of like Anthropic's Mythos and now 5.5, all the AI exposed like CVEs and so what was it, like 2 weeks ago it was CopyFail, last week it was DirtyFrag. So it's going to be a weekly thing, and so most of these big enterprises are shifting their update schedules to at least monthly. And so this one is talking about how they will roll updates in their test environment and then give it a little bit, roll them in their dev environment. Then they'll roll them into their test QA environment, and then it'll get to roll to production. And there'll be about a week of lag, and then they pick up and start the update cycle all over again. Right? And so it's crazy. Like you're going to have to stay on top of this stuff faster and faster at scale with consistency. So it's, I guess using like automation tools, Puppet, Chef, Ansible, all that stuff. It's using, I'm not going to say old tools, the standard tools, automation tools, but you're just trying to use them in a new way. I guess maybe is what I'm thinking. It's like taking an old car and putting electric motors on it. You're just modernizing it a bit, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it works. I still use Ansible quite a bit. We use GPTs to make Ansible scripts, but describe the problem and how I wanted to set it up and let it go, and then did a pretty sophisticated setup with a LAMP stack and MySQL replication, and set all the replication up and imported the GitHub web app into the whole nest and imported the database and all that stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I have a love-hate relationship with AI right now. And I'll narrow it down to this. I feel like the internet's kind of dead. Like the old internet I used to love.
Like Reddit. If you go to Reddit, it's like bots replying to bots, and you can see all the M dashes in the replies. You're like, or the negative, like it's not. It's what do they say? It's not only a blah, but it's a blah blah blah. Kind of thing. That's very common AI speak.
Yeah.
That's so
sad. But one is the old internet's dead, which is sad because it used to be a fun place. I still maintain my blog.
IRC is still there.
Yeah.
IRC still exists.
Yeah, I mean, I could give it a swing. Yeah. I still maintain my old blog, but I was thinking, a lot of the stuff used to train, it was training off that stuff. And I saw a graphic of Stack Overflow, and it was like, man, it was peaked, like it's weekly. And then as soon as ChatGPT got introduced, you could see it just fall to, so it's like that stuff. And also, anecdotally, in the last 12 months, I've seen my LinkedIn Learning revenue go down to, maybe 25% of what it was. because I get paid based on the number of views I get. And it has just rocketed down. It's like an inverse hockey stick, man. It's like my courses are trending down because people, they don't want to learn it anymore when they can just use these AI tools.
Well, now they have what, Pod Slop? Heard about Pod Slop, Podcast Slop, where 39% of new podcasts are AI generated.
That's so crazy, man.
So,
so crazy.
We're still authentic. I'm not an AI.
I know. No podcast would be this boring. It has to be
just
fake.
like AI has no intelligence. I have no intelligence also. So.
No, I heard somebody say this, and I've kind of I think I'm attempting to adopt this as like my thinking on it, is that you can outsource some of your thinking to AI, but you can't outsource your understanding to it. Right? You've got to have some base level of understanding, especially when you get more advanced on some of these topics. And I've had this conversation with many people that are like, I mean, AI is genuinely going to replace, and people aren't going to need to learn these things. And I was like, well, if you are the network engineer that's responsible for the network and it goes down and you can't get to AI, how are you fixing it with AI? You're not running an internal model. How's it going to fix it?
Well, eventually the AI models might be good enough that you won't need to know anything. You could just say, I can't get to YouTube, and it'll do its thing and then fix it for you. That's the dream, right?
But you have to get to the internet to do that. So how's it going to do it?
Local models are a thing. I don't know.
You'd have to run that model on your laptop console into the core equipment, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
out-of-band management,
as technology gets better and the models get better, they will get better, and what's capable of a model, will change. I mean, they have the Quinn 3.6 model with the 35 billion parameters, and only 3 billion of them are active at any point in time. When you're running it, makes it way more efficient to run those kinds of MOE models of experience. Like there's so many acronyms in AI. It's like you have to learn all these new jargons and stuff, but basically you can do multiple things at one time now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and a lot of my customers, I'm not seeing a ton of layoffs, at least yet, due to AI in kind of the IT tech space. What I am seeing is they have slowed or pretty much stopped hiring. Yeah. So graybeards like us, we're still going to be employed, right? But kids trying to come out of college, kids fresh out of the, on the street are just, I mean, I don't know that there's going to be IT spots for them anymore, especially like when you think about like low level desktop support stuff, because that's where a lot of people get their foot in the door, right? Or used to. And AI is really
there's still going to be a need
for
some physical aspect of these jobs right now. Someone's going to have to go to a site and put the firewall in there and plug it up, right? And be able to do that stuff. And then consult with the is this thing working? No, I don't know. Which cable goes where?
USB into your phone, into the console, and let it just run. Yeah. But it's
Bluetooth, just like scan the QR code and it'll configure it or whatever.
I just think like the 20 years of Cisco CLI that's in my brain will be complete. It's like, it's going to be completely useless.
Have you tried to do any Mikrotik AI, like configuration with AI? It was not good when I tried it back in the day because of 6 and 7 syntax and all the weird changes between everything. It couldn't keep it straight.
How about now?
I haven't tried it recently.
Yeah. As much as I love networking, I don't get to do that much networking anymore. I still have a handful of old customers that I still help. Especially like this one nonprofit, I still lean in there and help them. And that stuff fundamentally hasn't changed. And my brain still works on that stuff.
Yeah. I don't get to do a whole lot of that these days either. I'm usually in a lot of meetings and talking about, where we're going to build fiber to and that kind of stuff. And then, talking about systems as a whole and what needs to happen with them. So, implementing Odoo right now.
I'm just all over
Which has
the
been fun.
joint, automating literally everything. So you name it, I've been working on automating it. So I just like I don't get to. When I was a Tiger before, we were used as like this strategic resource, and we'd kind of go out, and so we each kind of had like sort of specializations, right? You'd be able to do everything but specializations. And now I'm a pod level solutions architect, so I'm like dedicated to an area. So I just like do everything all the time, nonstop. So I don't get to really like narrow in on any one thing. So
In the pod level, with the pod slot.
the pod slop for sure, man. No, like I don't even know if I can call myself a network guy anymore. I think I did it for over 20 years, and I still do it a little bit. But man, am I still a network guy? I don't know. Maybe at heart, but not in practice. It's sad.
It's
I'm still in
configuring
IT.
a switch and stuff like that is, I consider systems level admin kind of stuff for the most part. It's when you start getting into the OSP and the routing and whatever you're doing there, BGP and all that stuff, that you can start getting into the more networking side of things, exchanges and all that. Oh,
So you have in
you're just
here?
not building networks, but
No, I'm not. I'm just like helping people build, and nothing from scratch anymore. I'm just
well,
like helping people
we need-
engineer stuff here and there.
we need to have a moment of silence, right? It's where we're going next.
No, yeah. Rest in
For
peace.
for
I'll
for,
miss
for
you.
your for some looker out for the dude. It's officially
dude.
retired.
Officially,
Dude is retired. Yeah,
which was such
Finally
a convenient tool, man. It was
pulling the plug on it.
it was fun to use. Why pull the plug on it? You think it's just been superseded by so many other network monitoring tools that just easy to integrate.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, probably my understanding is they always would bring in a junior dev to work on it, and they would do some work on it, and then they would graduate from being a junior dev, and then there's no junior dev to work on it now, so they don't not hiring anyone, so there's no junior dev to work on the thing. So they're just kind of like
Throw some AI at it.
that's
Come on, man.
purely my speculation based on no conversations at all with anyone else, but it's kind of like what I figure is happening out there. So
Well, there's a lot
know.
of tools that will successfully. I just know it was really easy to quickly like distribute, and like I liked putting the little maps together. I remember that. I remember it was pretty convenient
it's
for that
easy
stuff.
to use, and really it probably had more features than a lot of people actually used. Most people are just looking for a visual map that they can right click and go down a little win box, log in, and that's
Super
it.
convenient, man.
They just want that. That's all the people want for the most part.
And you have the little links in between things. You could see how much bandwidth was moving. Yeah, dude.
Like I said, I like that. We turned all that stuff off because at some point we just got way too big to have the speeds on there, or any of the SNMP functionality. We turned that all off when you used the Libre NMS for that. For that, I used Observium, but so we just left all that stuff out. The only thing we really did was ping. So we had green things and red things on the map. They were up or down. And we would do sub maps for all the little core sites, and we had one master map with all the other locations on it and all that. So
Yeah, my last apartment complex I was rocking, I had the dude out there taking care of things. Yeah. Rip. Such is life.
you can still use the dude, but it's just not getting any updates or anything. It'll be dead sometime soon, for real.
For real.
But
sadness.
NetXMS was always something I was looking at because it had maps so you can do the same kind of thing. But the learning curve on that back in the day was pretty high. You had to build all of your config files, every single one of the ways that you wanted to monitor an SMP. You have to figure out what it was and what kind of, is it kind of integer it is so it doesn't roll over, or what kind of thing you're storing it in, and all. Like when you had tables of interfaces, you had to do something different for all that. Now I'm like, oh man, I could probably just AI the shit out of this and get it done in no time.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. Like I was doing a netbox install because I wanted to do a demo, and there wasn't a template for like the virtual Nexus switch I had, like just in my little virtual lab thing here. And so I just threw it at AI, and it just created a template, imported it. It was all there. It's like, man, this is the future, brother.
Yeah.
It makes life so much easier for stuff like that. It's crazy.
I gave this is kind of a side topic on AI. I gave it a prompt to make a Pac-Man game, and it in a single HTML file, and it made a Pac-Man game in a single HTML file. It was pretty wild.
That's cool. Was it
It's like
pretty?
16K.
Was it pretty functional?
Yeah, you can play it. Keyboard and mouse, everything. Collision detection, even little pills that you eat with score, and you can eat the big pill and chase the ghost and eat them and little eyes and everything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'll dump it in the little brothers chat
Yeah, I want to see it.
Slack. So
That's let me see. Think there's so like the guy I'm paired up with. He is an AI fanatic. I'm not even kidding. Like he is so far down the AI rabbit hole. It's not even funny. Like he pays, I think, a couple $100 a month, in like Anthropic, GPT, just like everything. Like but dude will have like 5 Claude Code sessions going at once, like in different, just have it just hammering it, man.
it's expensive.
Yeah. But he has created some insane stuff.
I was messing with Claude Code using a local LLM. So that's what's been my expertise for that is local LLM. I haven't actually used, my pro account or whatever and did it appropriately with Claude. But I did use Claude to create a very useful tool for my day job. I'm in a lot of meetings, and all the meetings have their Google Meet, so they have their summarizations and transcribed. So I was like, why can't Gemini give me summaries of all my meetings that I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
like at the end of the week? It couldn't. I was like asking it, and all the meetings that I was in, give me a summary of what's left on the floor, needs to happen, what we discussed, that kind of thing. Couldn't do it. It couldn't find the meeting links or whatever. So I had Claude generate a Google Apps script. So you go to scripts.google.com, you put scripts in there, and the script goes through my calendar, and it goes through the past week on all my calendar invites and grabs the transcripts and the notes off of that and makes a copy of it and puts it in a single folder. And it does this every day now. So I can go to this one folder and I can ask it questions about any of the meetings I've been in.
Have you
So,
have you used
what
any
kind
of Google's LM notebooks?
I have done sort of the same kind of thing with HOA documents.
Yeah, we use those. We use those extensively. For those unfamiliar, like LM Notebooks is
Yeah.
like a Google product where it's basically you have an AI chatbot, but you link it a whole ton of documents, and it will basically munge on those and like answer. So
Yeah.
like
It puts it in a rag and you can ask questions about it.
yeah, which is
Essentially
really
what it's doing.
convenient. So we will like any customer we talk to, everybody who touches that customer, every meeting that happens, like all the transcripts will go in there. If anybody has any individual notes or their own meeting transcripts, you put all that crap in there. You put information about the customer, like what they have bought and all that stuff, and you can just ask it anything. Like I've seen, I've seen some of our sales guys give transcripts and of like talking to customers, and like it can develop like a personality profile of this person, and you can say, hey, I'm about to talk to this person about this stuff and here's my presentation. It'll be like, that is a terrible idea, you're going to alienate this person. So you can actually like even like talk to it conversationally as if it is that person that you're about to talk to, and go through the reps. And I've seen dudes close some massive deals based on it. I've seen AI, they're like somebody just like could not get through to this customer. They're like, we did this thing, it didn't work, they didn't want this, they didn't want this, like what are we doing wrong? And it's like, you idiots, they want services, they want consulting to come in and do all this for them. And they were like, but they never mentioned anything about consulting. And sure enough, they proposed consulting, and it was a $1.6 million deal, just like that. It's like somehow it sees the things that you can't. It's kind of like my wife. She keeps all of this information in her brain, and she knows right where the mustard is. It's like, I don't know how that functions, but
That's called mental load.
that sounds like a load.
Yeah. Yeah.
My brain just does not function that way.
Keeping track of all the stuff that needs to get refilled and what needs to happen, and the schedule of everything and all that. That's something my wife does too, and mine's about me. We're pretty much very similar. I go with the flow. It's like, okay, what are we doing today? Like, did you look at the calendar? I'm like, no, I just going with the flow. It's the weekend. Don't need to be.
I live and die by my calendar, man. So much
During the week,
so.
I do.
Yeah.
But
Well, even
weekends, I'm
like our extracurricular stuff, like, if we're going to do something, it better be on the calendar, man. Otherwise, who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, I've been trying to do as much weird stuff as I know we're hitting towards the end right here, but so it's time for me to go off reservation. But I've been trying to do as much weird stuff as I possibly can lately. So like we like a month ago we went to a musical. I love musicals. I'm a big musical fan, but it was Saw the Musical. Based on the horror movie, only it's a comedy, and they make it so that like the two guys change in the bathroom like fall in love with each other. It's completely unhinged and insane, dude. There was they had what they called the splash zone. It was chairs covered in plastic, and two people were brave enough to sit there, and by the end of it, this one lady's hair was like straight down, like she was drenched in fake blood. It was hilarious. Like it was killing me. What else am I doing? I reached out to the Texas truck driving championships that are happening in Waco, and I was like, hey, I would love to like interview some of your drivers and stuff. And I got a press pass to that. But that same weekend, I'm going to a rave in Austin, so I gotta get my timings right, because I'm gonna be like one day at this thing, and then I'm gonna like another day here. But I gotta figure out how it all lines up. Like I told you, man, I'm just trying to do as much stuff, and so like I have like so many weird things. I'm also, let me say this a little bit quiet. For my wife's birthday, I'm doing a hot air balloon ride. It's gotten canceled 3 times already. Apparently, the wind conditions have to be like 0 to 5 miles per hour. Otherwise, like they scrub the mission. And so, yeah, this is going to be our 4th attempt. I got to get it scheduled again. Maybe I need to just ask the guy, like, what's the best window of time you think we should shoot for? Because
just ask a GPT what season has
in Texas, yeah.
Yeah, in Texas.
In the Austin area in Texas. Yeah.
Historically, which periods have the least amount of wind?
Yeah, but like just I don't know, all this wacky stuff. Went and saw David Sedaris the other day. He was really awesome. You gotta, man. I even have to like schedule my personal, but also all this travel I'm doing too, like trying to make just life happen. But you know what? I've noticed I've been doing a lot more of like this really interesting, weird, big stuff. I think in compensation for all this travel I'm doing, because like when I'm home, I want my wife to be like my wife to be like happy, because like she really does not like me doing this much travel, and it's all of it's not, none of it's in my control, and I'm just trying to survive this life that I am in, and so I'm trying to like maximize, like, and hope do all this stuff. So
avoid the wife aggro. Yeah.
I want her to feel special. That's what it comes down to, just feel happy.
Happy wife, happy life is what they say, right?
100%. Yeah. If another one is, if mom's not happy, nobody's happy. So yeah, we try to take care of that too. But yeah, so I've been going wild, man. I've been wilding out. And
speaking of mothers, it's Mother's Day this weekend.
That's right. Them ladies always competing to like take over my birthday. Like they're trampling on my birthday celebrations.
I already took my mom out. We went to a seafood restaurant. It was very, very expensive.
That sounds meaningful.
For 4 of us to eat. Yes, it was very, very good. Yeah, but everything's getting way more expensive. So
it's insane, dude. Gas, food, everything.
I don't know about the gas thing. I have 2 EVs.
Oh.
I got on that bandwagon early.
Yeah, I know. I do too many road trips. Although we could have like an electric for in town, and then
I've gone to Tennessee in my car. No problem. From Virginia to Tennessee. I've gone to Maryland. I've gone to Pennsylvania. I've gone to Outer Banks.
You could do like 2 hours there, 2 hours back without having to charge?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll
don't do a lot of driving when you're there. You get about 300 miles of range.
I was thinking of maybe a plug-in hybrid, looking that route, because I would basically be running on just battery in town all the time.
I hear Ford's going to release a 30K EV truck soon.
I don't want a truck, dude.
Yeah, well,
I've got a friend that's he's got one of the Ford Lightnings. He loves it.
yeah.
But they pull a
That's
trailer
way more
and stuff.
expensive than the Ford JJ Boyd, when they got hit by the hurricane out in Asheville. I went out there and helped him recover with my coworker Scott and Alan, Eli Allen, and we they had some Ford Maverick trucks. I was like, these are sweet little hybrid trucks.
They're like the little guys,
420
right?
miles of, yeah, they're like small little trucks, and they get the hybrid ones get 400 plus miles per tank.
It's pretty
They're
darn
like
good.
nice little work vehicles to get around. We were hauling like gas up mountains and running generators, going around on a cadence every couple hours, get new gas until we finally got propane generators and 100-gallon propane tanks hooked up. That would then it's like every 2 days or whatever. That was an experience helping out there. After
Propane and
that.
propane accessories. I would love for you and
Yeah.
JJ to like talk about that experience. I'm sure it was wild.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely get them on one of these.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in so long. I miss that guy. I miss you too.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Yeah. Like I don't get to see any of you guys anymore.
Well, now you will.
It's been
You
like
do these.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, that's why this podcast was born, so that I could talk to my friends, like an excuse to talk to my friends regularly. And so
Yeah.
I've missed talking to my friends. I've had to make
It's
new
hard.
friends, and it's just not the same.
It's hard when you get older to communicate effectively on a schedule.
Yeah.
So, like, people text me and like I will see it and then be like, I want to reply to that, but don't have the time at that moment, and then I forget about it because it happened while I'm doing this other thing, and so like I have to make an active, conscious, effort to go back and review things and say, oh, what did I forget? What did I miss?
I still have this thing in me where I
like
don't want to bother people. Like I still feel like I'm bothering people. It's like
Yeah,
it's
well, I'll call you on my way back. If I'm driving home from work, I'll call you.
yeah,
I'll
like
call someone
I
else.
love it. Like I love it when people
So-
talk to me. So I don't know why I've always got it stuck in my head. Like
Well-
like I'm bothering somebody.
I think it's visit the people who visit you, call the people who call you, and ignore the people who ignore you. Right? So
Dang, way to put me in my place. All right, bro. All right, dude. We've rambled enough. We're over an hour. You think we should stick a fork in it?
I don't know, is there anything on the list that we missed that we want to just pop in at the end so everyone could be like, sure about the last thing they talked about?
I don't know.
What's this thing about servers getting kited?
Oh, kitted out.
Kitted.
Like, yeah. Like we have some data center space, and trying to get like a populated server is just insane. Like people are doing these, it's the RAM price crap.
I heard the home PC builder market, like building your own computer stuff, is crashing hard right now because of RAM and video cards and everything else.
Yeah.
And hard drive shortages. Also, Western Digital was like, we sold all hard drives for this year.
Yeah. I think RAM
We're out.
is essentially like bought out for the next 2 to 3 years already.
Yeah.
So it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And it's like, how fast does it take to turn up a new fab? I don't know. Come on.
Too long.
Yeah, evidently too long. Yeah, it's just making life miserable. And so we want to run some more. We're consolidating down to 3 servers. We actually just bit the bullet and paid way too much for some servers. But we had to part it all out. So we had to buy the servers, we had to buy the RAM just to like make it happen. It's the only way you could.
There's a guy
do
I've
it.
been want to get on the podcast. His name is Jason, and he works at Strategic Telecom Systems in Richmond, Virginia. And they are a company that they go into data centers and they rip all our equipment out, and then they erase everything, reset the BIOSes, the iDRACs, the ILOs, whatever, you have on them, and then they resell it. That they sell it to people, and those people sell them on eBay. So like when you buy stuff from PC Server Direct or whatever, it's probably gone through one of these kind of like quasi recyclers that go in and get stuff. But he's got a very interesting job. He's pulled out a lot of interesting equipment from all these different locations, data centers, old stuff, new stuff. But he'd be a very interesting guy. But you can reach out to them, and buy servers and stuff. We've bought a lot of stuff from them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
server wise,
For sure. I think I found my
like,
next sponsor. Just give me some gear,
just like
bro.
bins of crap. Like just we're going through there, and they have like just a bin full of set top receivers that they're getting ready to rip all the gold out of and then shred, and then some chips they'll rip out and send to China because these chips are really expensive, and they can be reused in other stuff or whatever. So they have a list of that stuff. So they go through all this crazy stuff. They have like a machine that its job is just to erase hard drives. You just stick hard drives in it, like 60 hard drives at a time. It goes through and zeroes them out or whatever.
Scrubs them all.
Or if it's a SAS drive, it triggers its internal low-level wipe thing, which has tricked me a few times. Oh, this drive is, you buy a drive from them, it's like, yeah, I can't format it. It's dead. And you start to dig into it. Oh yeah, it's got 97% left on this wipe. You just have to let it sit there and wipe until it's done, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
That's cool.
You have to be it's just like kind of enterprise server hardware weirdness
Yeah.
they have going on.
That's dope.
But-
yeah, man, that would be
Yeah.
really interesting. Especially, like hook me up with a link. I wanna go poking around because I know we're looking to put some pretty big GPUs or Teslas in our data center stuff, so we can start running some local models to crunch some of our stuff. Because all three of us, the three guys that share our data center space, we're all starting to use AI a lot more for our wacky stuff. My last app, and really, I guess I don't know, but the one I'm most proud of is I vibe coded a program that goes through my podcast, and like it will do the transcription using Whisper, fast Whisper, faster Whisper, I think. And then so like the laptop I'm trucking here has like an extra GPU and an NPU chip. It's like a pretty beefy little guy, and so an hour-long podcast, it can like transcribe it in like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and then it takes that transcription and it boots it up to ChatGPT. It only costs like 6 cents to use the API call, so it's pretty cheap. And it finds interesting snippets, pulls that back. It also makes like social media like blurbs for them all, and then I can click on each one and see if it's actually interesting based on the blurb. Go in there, look at the text that it's going to be using. I have these little sliders, and I'll dial it in, and then when I'm all done, I click generate, and it pulls out the clips, puts the text over, and it moves with the people talking, and I have the social media piece all tied together. So you gotta play. Cool. You either play the game or you build a tool to play the game for you. So it's about to be completely hands off and do all the social media for podcast crap for me.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I got nothing.
That's it. Done.
All right.
We've reached the end of the internet.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I don't remember how I usually finish these things off, so I'm going to say, Miller, thank you for joining me today on this
You're welcome.
almost inaugural episode of the Brothers WISP. Back in
It's
style.
a reboot.
Reboot? Oh no!
Yes.
Everything's getting redone. Is this AI? Is this an AI?
WISP.
Is this an AI slop? Reboot of the Brothers WISP. No, we just had to get this one out of our system so that we can get back to business on all the rest of it. But hopefully we will keep coming in with more interesting stuff. And honestly, thank you so much for being on this first one. When I came back, I wanted it to be exceptionally small just so I could kind of get my feet back under me, kind of get back in the rhythm of all this stuff. So I really appreciate you. I know you said no at first, but then you relented eventually, thankfully.
I didn't say no.
You made a bunch of excuses, and then you came around. I knew my charms would work on you eventually. But yeah, all of you listeners, thanks. I think I'm going to be taking the services back over, and I think I'm going to translate the Patreon back this way. I'm Going to be doing these at least monthly. I don't know that the cadence will increase because I am doing so much freaking travel. But I will commit to doing at least one a month. But outside of that, I don't know. We'll see. You never know. I might try and throw some extras in there, and if I can get out to some conferences, it would be fun to do some of that old stuff where you walk around, you talk to people.
WISP is in October in Vegas. Always a fun time.
Now the real question is, can I get a free ticket? I'll pay for my flight, but can I get a free ticket to WISPA?
You know, I know a guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. That might be pretty fun.
I know a guy, maybe. We'll see.
I don't really know guys anymore, so it would be interesting if you could help me out. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Miller, appreciate you again. Let me hit stop on this.